Hey, good morning, guys. So here's a quick question for you guys. Is there a limit on VA loans or is there a limit where there's a down payment required? Well, we're going to address that, and it actually depends on the situation. So before we get right into it, this is Market Monday. Or say, it's not Market Monday. It's VA Fridays, and we're going to talk more in detail about how that works and how you can inform yourself as well as your clients in making the right decisions. So before we get started, we got to do dad joke, right? When does a joke become a dad joke? When does a joke become a dad joke? When it's full grown. Full grown. All right, so I had a quick case study the other day, and since about 2 weeks ago, maybe 3 weeks ago, a client reached out to me through another real estate agent friend of mine, and they asked me all these questions in regards to, hey, what is our down payment because we want to buy a $975,000 house. I was like, well, that's a lot. First of all, that's a lot. But basically, we dove into it, and they told me that they've talked to 4 different loan officers, all local loan officers in the area, and they've all been told that they have to bring in about $82,000 down for a $975,000 house, which I'm like, it depends, right? So one question I had asked them is, are you a fully or partially entitled veteran? What that means is, do you currently have a VA loan right now that's active and you do intend on keeping it? Well, the answer to that question is that they said, no, we don't have a VA loan right now. We haven't really used it. But as of right now, we don't have a VA loan that's active. I was like, okay, so from what's called the Blue Water Navy Bill of 2019, if you're someone that's called a fully entitled veteran, which you are, you do not have to bring in a down payment regardless of what the county loan limit is, because you're only going to have one VA loan at one time. And this blew their minds, right? So it sounds so 4 loan officers have told them that they had to bring a down payment, and there was me, the one loan officer, that told them that they didn't have to bring a down payment. And why is that? Well, it's just why we specialize in the VA loans that we do. So what's the depend situation? Well, again, it goes back to being fully entitled veteran or a partially entitled veteran. Fully entitled veteran means they're only going to have one VA loan at one time, whether it's be a contingency or they're going to sell the house before they buy the new house. It can be all within the same transaction or contingency, whatever it is, as long as the sell and the buy are either at the same day or the sell is before and the close on the sell is before, the close on the buy is after. So that's the main thing. If that's the case, again, they're fully entitled and they're only going to have one VA loan at one time. The only time when the limits come into play and where we have to consider a down payment is if they're going to have more than one VA loan at one time and the house that they're buying is above what they have left. For example, let's say, and it's all based on the county loan limit and how much they bought the house. So let's say they buy a house in some county and the county loan limit is $600,000. Let's say 650 because it's about 647. $650,000. In that county, they already bought a house for 400K, which means if you do some quick math, you take the purchase price of the house, subtract it from the county loan limit, and we have about 250 left. In that case, that client has about $250,000 to buy a house, zero down in that county. Now, if they wanted to buy a house above what they have left, they can do that. A down payment is required. That's the case. Only if they're buying more than what they have left on the VA loan, if they're having more than one VA loan at one time. So what's that down payment calculation? A lot of people think it's the difference between the purchase price and what they have left. So for example, if you say you have 250 left, but you're buying a $350,000 house, most people think it's $100,000. Because it's $100,000 difference, that's the down payment. That's also not true. The down payment's calculated out to be about 25% of the difference of $100,000, which makes their down payment go from $100,000 to $25,000. So just to kind of break it down, you buy a county loan, you buy in a county with a county loan that's $650. You bought a house for $400, you have $250 left. You buy a house for $350, $350 minus $250 is about $100, right? Because $250 is how much you will have left. The $100,000 is the difference. Take 25% of that difference. That difference is that down payment is $25,000. So it all depends on if they're partially entitled or fully entitled, because it all depends if they're going to have more than one VA loan at one time. For me personally, I have 2 VA loans at one time, which means I'm partially entitled right now, which means I only have so much left to go zero down. If I sold all my properties and then bought a house on my VA loan, then what we can look at is I could be potentially fully entitled and buy a house for as much as I want. as long as I can afford the mortgage payment. So, for example, I had a client bought a $1.35 million home uh, without a down payment. So that could be a really great option. We've had a client buy a $5 million home without a down payment. So it's something you can definitely consider in order to leverage your money as much as you can, because they said they would rather not spend $81,000 for the down payment and maybe another 25 for the closing costs, because it was a $975,000 house. So again, um, I'll talk about more next week in regards to like why is there just a discrepancy in the information I'm telling you guys versus like what most other loan officers know when it comes to the VA loan. Because at the end of the day, who you should be working with or have a resource, you should have a VA specialist in as a resource to make sure what your clients being told is true if for some reason you feel it's off. So let us know if you have any questions. Let me know if you have any questions. Feel free to contact me and I'll be able to make sure that it's a VA lender's handbook requirement or it's a lender overlay, or maybe they just have misinformation. Otherwise, that's all I got for you guys. Have a great weekend. Have a great Memorial Day. We're not going to do a market Monday. We'll do it on Tuesday. So hopefully you guys have a great week. Thank you for all those who have served and had members that have served and lost their lives. So again, have a great weekend. I'll talk to you guys soon. Thanks a lot.